Like many retail traders, I'm very susceptible to flashy YouTube titles. So when I saw an author who deleted all his previous indicators because he had finally found the one that gives him 90% take profits, I just couldn't ignore it. And when you see almost 90,000 likes under that video, you realize there are tens of thousands of traders who want to believe the same story. But is the author's strategy really as strong as he claims? That's exactly what we'll find out in AlgoMythBuster number 3. As usual, the setup relies on two indicators. One defines the trend direction, and the second acts as the actual entry trigger. The author also uses a fixed risk-to-reward ratio of 1.5 to measure profitability against stop losses. The main trend tool is Trend Filter, two-pole, by BigBeluga, a trend filter that smooths price using a two-pole formula and highlights the trend direction through the color of the line and the bars. It uses the filter length, a damping factor, and an ATR-based band to mark areas of persistent advance or decline, and plots dots above or below the line once the move becomes stable. For our strategy, this indicator provides both direction and the stop-loss reference. The second component is Kalman Trend Levels, also by BigBeluga. It builds two smooth lines based on a Kalman filter, a short and a long one, and classifies the market as bullish or bearish based on their relative position. In other words, the author stacks two trend-following tools, where the second indicator is used purely as the entry trigger. This already raises questions about the robustness of the approach. But instead of jumping to conclusions, we will translate the author's idea into a fully defined TradingView strategy using Pine script and let the data speak. I hard-code all the recommended parameters directly into the script. For Trend Filter, we set the smoothing length to 28 and adjust some visual options. For Kalman Trend Levels, we change the smoothing lengths to 40 and 80 and disable extra elements to keep the chart readable. From there, the trading logic is straightforward. As soon as a new trend regime appears, we check the Kalman state on every bar. When the trigger appears, we enter a position with the stop loss at the ATR-based band of that bar, the dotted line from the first indicator, and the take profit at RR equals 1.5. The test asset is the same as in the original video, US 30 on the 15-minute time frame. And here is what the resulting strategy actually shows. With the author's inputs, the performance is not bad, but it is very far from a 90% win rate. The idea itself, however, turned out to be more promising than I expected. After some parameter tuning, I was able to push the win rate to about 47% with a profit factor around 1.5 and up to 53% when lowering the RR target to 1.0. What bothered me was the very tight ATR setting on the trend filter, effectively using a band coefficient of 1.0 on such a volatile instrument. So I widened the ATR band for US 30 and reran the tests. That produced a win rate of around 52%, but with a take profit that was more than 3 times larger in absolute terms and a profit factor close to 2. At this point, the stop-loss logic started to behave more like a flip mechanism. Long positions were often replaced by shorts when the signal reversed, which turned the system into a style closer to continuous flipping rather than strict stop and reverse with large cuts during spikes. At the same time, I did not see the kind of deep drawdowns that you would expect from the original narrative, where stop losses are supposedly triggered on 1.5% bars. There is a simple structural reason for that. We always place orders based on the close of the bar to avoid repainting issues. With an extremely tight stop, once a signal fires at bar close, the whole move of that candle is already locked in structurally, no matter how the intrabar path looked. So the final verdict is mixed. I won't put a myth-destroyed stamp on this strategy. Instead, I would say, thank you to the author for an unusual way of combining two trend indicators, but the video title and thumbnail clearly oversell what the data shows. For viewers, my recommendation is to experiment with the parameters, understand exactly how the stop and trigger are constructed, and only then decide whether this approach is tradable for you and your risk tolerance. That's it for today's episode of AlgoMythBuster number 3.